Okay, recording this video Thursday, 23rd of January 2014. It is 10:46 a.m. Chicago time. Done my trading, off to the slopes, and just want to get a video out really quickly. Today is the day. It's the inflection point day. It's the day I've been waiting for weeks, a couple of weeks. On Tuesday I said we would get this on Wednesday or Thursday of this week. We didn't get it yesterday, probably because New York was kind of snow affected, not everybody at their desk. The volume was relatively light and it was a bit kind of slow yesterday. Today we've got it. We got news overnight out of China that was not good, started a sell-off, and a whole bunch of markets have turned around today. And so we've got inflection points, turning points in all of these markets. So today marks a really, really important day. So I'm going to go through those charts very quickly and show you what's kind of going on. I'm not going to put any day trading charts. There are some great signals today. At some point I might put up a video on that. Just a note, I got a couple of messages by email this morning saying, hey, what happened to Tuesday's video? I got it in my inbox on Wednesday or Thursday or whatever. Please, if you are subscribed by email, I have to remind people every kind of once in a while, if I have a cutoff time, it's about 3 hours after the close. If I don't get my post and video out by that time, the email sits kind of waiting for the next cycle 24 hours later to be distributed. That's just the way it is, I'm afraid. If you wanted to subscribe by something that's instantaneous, use the RSS feed. Or you can subscribe by YouTube or Google Plus and so on. Those are a little bit faster. I'm a little bit faster on those. But the emails, I'm sorry, that's just kind of the nature of the beast. So that's what it is. Anyway, let's look at today's activity in these multi-market charts. So 4,500 tip bar chart. Yesterday's activity, we ended up with a bit of a fake out move back to 1840. Absolutely critical number. We've been playing and playing with this. We can't get through it. We have blue professional bars at the end of the day kind of coming in at these highs. Exhaustion patterns, bearish divergence. Last kind of roll of the dice up here, bang, and we sold off. Now the news overnight out of China was not good. I think it was a PMI number that kind of came out. It started to sell off kind of down here, had a bounce back up, and then bang, crashed through. So today's opportunities have all been kind of short trading on the way down. We have reached down here in the teens an exhaustion pattern. Blue professional bars kind of come in, and we're putting in a pullback to end of trend. This exhaustion buying is short covering rally. So that's everybody who is short with this kind of strong move up into the 20s got taken out. Blue professional bars kind of coming in here. We should be wrapping around on better sine wave to put in our pullback to end of trend sequence on the 4,500 tip bar chart. But on Tuesday I said, you know, if we start cracking through, 1833 was a critical number. That was kind of a low of a couple of this sequence here. So this was kind of the low of that breakout point right here that we broke out on. I think this was the Tuesday. If we crack through that, that's going to be an important point. Then I said through 30 is another kind of point that, you know, kind of give us confirmation. And then 26, you know, the 26 number has been a really important number for weeks and weeks. So, you know, we did all of that damage overnight. We went through the 33, then we went through the 30. By the opening, we were down at 26. So this is a really important day. And when you look at this, I'm just going to show you the daily chart here. This is the continuous night and day session. We're breaking through a support level on the daily chart here. So we put in our pullback to end of trend, Rambo patterns at Christmas time leading up to that kind of turning point, flush patterns, having had exhaustion patterns and so on, flushing out those buyers, and now this is really a kind of serious down day. You know, the next one down on the low side is 1809. So that's the 1800 kind of number is absolutely key. I don't know what the volume is so far today, but it could be a fairly decent day, volume down day, in which case this could be a blue professional down bar, which would be falling through the ice through a support level here. So that's kind of important as a signal for a potential change in trend. Remember, on the weekly charts, we've still got to put in pullback to end of trend. On the weekly charts, we've got these big kind of patterns to make. What I'm looking for is an overbought kind of region where we've come into no demand type stuff on equities, that we're going to have a sell-off into that weekly support zone and a little bit of a kind of a trending move down on the daily chart. So with today's activity, I think that's starting that off. And the reason for that is you have to look at all the other markets. So I'm going to look through the currencies, the forex charts first of all, and show you those. Okay, weekend I put out a video. Paul and Barbara were asking me, is this a breakout in the dollar index kind of going on? We had breakouts of potential breakouts above resistance on the daily and the weekly chart, and I said no, I thought this was a false breakout on the dollar index chart. Bang, this is today's activity. turned around. This thing is heading back down again. So we got weakness in dollar index, and we got strength in most of the other currencies. So let me run through those quickly. Now I don't want to talk about the commodity currencies yet. First of all, euro. Euro, there we go, blue professional bar kind of coming. We tried to hold here and we went back down, initial kind of break of that support level, but the blue professional bar kind of came in there, a little bit of an overshoot of that support level, and that's held. And today, bang, the euro is going up. And so we've had our exhaustion and bullish divergence patterns kind of come in. These are not necessarily flush patterns, but a little bit of selling going on here, but we're breaking above blue professional bars and the euro is heading up. So pound, talked about the pound, been bullish on the pound, been saying the pound's going up, blah blah blah. We had, I think the unemployment number came down in the UK, leading into, I think it was yesterday's kind of news. Anyway, we're making pullback to end of trend. This thing's on its way up. On the weekly chart, we've not seen exhaustion patterns, blue professional bars and so on. Been bullish on the pound, and now we're breaking out to new highs on the pound, and the euro is following along. Now, Japanese yen, I said we've traveled a long way. We're going to get a little bit of a bounce, and we're bouncing above the highs of these last kind of blue professional bars here. All I'm looking for is to bounce into a pullback and a downtrend signal. We're due for that, but I think with a little bit of strength in Japanese yen, a little bit of short covering rally. It's been very weak selling down here. You can see the amount of selling has been very limited, and we've got Rambo patterns kind of down here. We're going to have a bounce in Japanese yen. And the commodity currencies then. So now I was a little bit cheeky the other day talking about the Canadian dollar, saying that I thought there was going to be some strength in the Canadian dollar. Earlier on today, this was looking a little bit stronger. The closing tick was a little bit higher here, and then that just looked like a press down. The last couple of days, I mean, this has actually been a 1.5 kind of sell-off. Has been big in Canadian dollar. I thought it'd be holding around the 91, but we could be putting in bullish divergence kind of here. If the dollar index continues to weaken and all the other currencies start to strengthen, I think the commodity currencies are going to start to strengthen as well. And all of this is because commodity prices are inversely related to the dollar index. US dollar goes down, commodity prices kind of naturally kind of go up because the US dollar is weaker. And I just think we're starting to see the beginning turning points of Canadian dollar and the Aussie dollar here. So this is pullback to end of trend we're going to make here, dirty end of trend. We've had another exhaustion pattern kind of down here. This has been a level that previously we have kind of found support kind of down here. We've got blue professional bars kind of coming into these lows. I said I got out of a short Aussie kind of thing I was doing the other day, and I think because all these currencies are rolling around, because of this dollar index kind of sell-off that we've got here, all of those currencies will kind of start to weaken. So the weakest of the lot have been the commodity currencies, but we're starting to put in the left shoulders that we need to have exhaustion patterns and turn those things around. So this is why today is an extremely important day. And trend moves are set off by large range, large volume days. So we've definitely got a large range day. Don't know what the volume is yet for today, but this could be the start of another kind of move down in dollar index, kind of pressing to new lows. We've had our rally back up, exhaustion, blue professional bars, bearish divergence. Now we've got to see exhaustion selling on the downside. So all of those currencies are rolling around, and the markets are rolling around. Equities are selling off, and I've been talking about the bonds rallying. Bang, look at today. So been talking about the turning point in bonds. On the weekly chart, these are amateur down bars and Rambo patterns and so on. It's not that it's the end of the down move in bonds. Again, I've been saying this again and again. All I'm saying is we've traveled quite a long way on bonds. We're going to have a rally back up until where the professionals come back in on the weekly charts and take them down again. Breaking above resistance on a daily chart takes us into a trend move. We've got all the right things in the background saying that the blue professional bars here, the highs of these got broken. Professionals are anxious to get on board this move. Now we're kind of moving out of this little congestion zone, blue, kind of a breakout move in bonds. So it's a reallocation of funds out of equities into bonds been taking place, and now there's people kind of chasing it. On the commodity side of things, Crude has been really nice. Pullback to dirty end of trend, flush pattern, blue professional bars kind of come in and we break the highs of that. Been saying on crude I'm just waiting for a little push back down into the lows, a testing bar, in order to kind of, once we've had broken to new lows like this, I like to see a testing bar. Effectively it's a right shoulder if you like. So at some point we'll get some weakness in crude, and that'll be really interesting to see if there's a long kind of setup there. And on the commodities side of things, copper I thought was going to break out. Actually, I haven't looked at this chart today, and we didn't get the break above 37. So although dollar index is weak, so the commodities kind of move up, crude oil would be moving up because of that, but copper not moving up is possibly a result of people saying the manufacturing sector is weak, and that's what kind of came out of the Chinese numbers, that we had a weak kind of manufacturing sector. So that breakout trade has not worked again for me, but we didn't get confirmation. I was saying close above 337 was kind of the key number, and we didn't get that. That's a pretty weak bar today, so I don't think we're kind of looking at that for the time being. Let's wait and see, but let's look at some commodities, because these all of a sudden are looking really interesting. So this is a daily chart of gold, and I'm just going to bring up really quickly this weekly chart on gold and show you. 1200's been the number down here, pullback to end of trend, exhaustion patterns, bullish divergence. This is a classic little setup. So we got our left shoulder in, we got starting to make less selling going on at left shoulders. We tested into a Rambo pattern down here, and we got cyclical support on the weekly chart. If you go to the daily chart, it was lining up for a really nice little pullback to end of trend sequence here. We never got an exhaustion selling kind of going on here, but we're breaking above cyclical resistance here, the pullback level. So potentially gold's on its way into an uptrend. And then same thing with silver. On the weekly chart of silver, you can see the same pattern as gold. Exhaustion, first bullish divergence, pullback to end of trend with a flush pattern, and Rambo signal kind of down here showing the amateurs getting wrong-footed at 19-20 bucks. So we've got everything in place for a change in trend on the weekly chart. And then when you go down to the daily, we were having a nice little setup for pullback to end of trend here. It's a little bit weaker than gold at the moment. Gold's kind of moved through that resistance level and kind of getting going. But we've got more confirmation here. Exhaustion selling on a left shoulder, first bullish divergence kind of comes in, and then little amateur down bar yesterday, and we're kind of cracking back up. So all of a sudden the commodities, gold and silver, are starting to rally. They've been spending a long time kind of pressing into those lows at 19 and 1200, and we've not got them. So we've got all these inflection points happening on all of these markets, on all of the markets kind of going on, and all of the currencies kind of going on. So it's a really, really important day. And it's a kind of inflection point because everything's happening at the same time, and the bars, the ranges of the bars are really big. Let's see what the volume is at the end of the day, kind of confirmation, because large range, large volume days kind of set things in motion, and we start moving in trend moves that are all turning points on all of these markets. So fascinating day. I hope you're kind of on top of it. Made good short money on the equity sell-off this morning, and yeah, let's see what happens by the close of the day.